If you've been following the Eagles this season, you know that every move made by this team is dissected, debated, and analyzed endlessly, and the acquisition of Jaylen Phillips is no exception. Philadelphia has added a piece to their defensive puzzle that they've needed for a while, a versatile edge rusher capable of immediately influencing games and changing how opposing offenses approach the field. What makes this move especially intriguing is that Phillips isn't just a talented player. He's also familiar with the defensive scheme, which means there won't be the usual adjustment period that comes when a player is traded mid-season. This is someone who can step in, understand the system, and produce impact plays from day one. Phillips brings a rare combination of athleticism, length, and strength that allows him to play both on the edge and inside a defensive tackle, giving the Eagles flexibility to rotate him wherever he's needed most. Even after dealing with serious injuries in the past, including an Achilles and ACL tear, he's starting to find his groove. Recent performances have shown that his burst off the line, ability to read the quarterback, and knack for disrupting plays at the point of attack are coming back into form. When healthy, he's the kind of player who can consistently pressure the quarterback, bat down passes at the line, and make life miserable for offensive linemen who have to account for him every snap. From a strategic standpoint, adding Phillips is an intelligent move for the Eagles for several reasons. First, it strengthens a position group that had been underperforming this season. The pass rush from the edge had not been producing the level of pressure needed to consistently disrupt top-tier quarterbacks. And while other pieces like Brandon Graham returning from retirement and Nolan Smith coming back from injury help, adding Phillips provides a clear upgrade and adds depth. He's a player who can contribute immediately while also fitting into the team's long-term plans. He's still young, won't demand an over-the-top contract, and has the potential to develop into a cornerstone of the defensive front. Another reason this move makes sense is that Phillips' arrival doesn't disrupt the roster's balance. Philadelphia still retains multiple third-round draft picks, and if things don't work out long-term, there are mechanisms in place to recoup value. This makes the trade low-risk and potentially high reward, a philosophy that has defined Howie Roseman's tenure as general manager. The combination of draft capital, scheme familiarity, and immediate impact talent creates a scenario where the Eagles improve their defense significantly without mortgaging the future. Looking at the defensive rotation more closely, Philadelphia now boasts a formidable group of edge rushers: Jaylen Phillips, Nolan Smith, Jix Hunt, Josh Uke, and Brandon Graham. Each brings a different set of skills, whether it's speed, power, or experience, and together they form a unit capable of putting constant pressure on quarterbacks while rotating fresh legs throughout the game. For opposing offenses, planning against this group is a nightmare. The Eagles can mix personnel and alignments, and almost every snap offers a different look. It's the kind of depth and versatility that can dictate the outcome of high-stakes games, especially in the postseason. One of the most compelling aspects of Phillips' addition is how it fits into the bigger picture of the Eagles' defensive philosophy. Philadelphia has consistently valued players who understand the system, have experience with certain coaches, or have been coached by respected defensive minds. Phillips falls squarely into this category, having played under Vic Fangio in previous seasons. Fangio's stamp on Phillips' development is evident in his football IQ, technique, and ability to anticipate plays, which allows him to plug into Philadelphia's system with minimal friction. For a team that prizes cohesion and familiarity within its scheme, that's a massive advantage. From an analytical perspective, Phillips' recent numbers highlight just how much he's coming into form post-injury. Even with limited snaps earlier in the season due to recovery, he has started to generate significant pressure and contribute to the pass rush consistently. His ability to impact both the edge and interior lines makes him a dual threat, something that is highly coveted in modern NFL defenses. If you look at metrics like pass rush win rate, pressure percentage, and quarterback hits, Phillips ranks at the top among Eagles defenders. His blend of athleticism and technique allows him to not only get sacks but also collapse pockets and create chaos in the backfield, something that is crucial when facing elite quarterbacks in tight playoff scenarios. Philadelphia's defense has always relied on being disruptive and versatile, and Phillips enhances both of these traits. The team now has more than just depth at the edge. It has players capable of making game-changing plays on any given down. It's the kind of roster construction that allows the Eagles to pressure the quarterback without sacrificing run defense, which has been a balancing act for many defenses across the league. Phillips' presence means the team can now rotate aggressively, keep players fresh, and maintain a high level of play late in games when it matters most. But this move isn't just about the immediate impact. There's a longer-term vision here as well. Phillips is a young player who fits the profile of someone the Eagles could extend beyond this season, giving the team stability at a position that is notoriously difficult to maintain. He has the kind of upside that, if nurtured correctly, could make him a foundational piece of Philadelphia's defense for years. And given the depth chart and the rotation now in place, there's a realistic chance for him to maximize his talent while also pushing others to elevate their games. This is the sort of calculated move that shows an organization thinking several steps ahead, building a team not just to survive the present, but to thrive in the future. Philadelphia's upcoming schedule makes this acquisition even more relevant. Facing a slate of games against playoff-caliber teams means the Eagles need every advantage possible. Adding Phillips gives them a weapon against mobile and elite quarterbacks alike. Whether it's a veteran like Matthew Stafford or a rising talent like Jordan Love, the pressure generated by this improved defensive line can disrupt timing, force mistakes, and tilt the balance in Philadelphia's favor. It's exactly the type of edge you need when every win is critical to securing home field advantage in the postseason. Even with the inherent risks, previous injuries, and potential durability concerns, the move is calculated. The Eagles are betting on Phillips' ability to perform and continue to improve, and the supporting pieces around him make that bet reasonable. With 2 remaining third-round picks and the potential to recoup value if circumstances change, this trade is essentially a low-risk, high-upside scenario. It allows Philadelphia to remain competitive immediately while maintaining flexibility for future roster moves. In short, acquiring Jaylen Phillips strengthens the Eagles in multiple dimensions: immediate pass rushing ability, rotational depth, scheme familiarity, long-term potential, and matchup advantages against top-tier offenses. It's a move that aligns perfectly with how Philadelphia has approached team building under Howie Roseman, blending shrewd management with calculated risk to create a team that can compete at the highest level while keeping options open for the future. The Eagles now have a defensive edge that is not only talented but versatile, a unit capable of making the difference in games that will define the season. Even with the Eagles' defense getting stronger, the conversation around this team doesn't stop with one trade. Howie Roseman has proven time and again that he's not content sitting still, especially when there are opportunities to upgrade the roster and push this team closer to a Super Bowl caliber level. With the trade deadline looming, speculation is heating up about what Philadelphia could do next, particularly when it comes to shoring up the offensive line and potentially upgrading the tight end position. These areas could make a huge difference down the stretch, especially against some of the more physical defenses in the NFC. One name that keeps coming up among insiders and fans alike is Raiders guard Jackson Powers Johnson. Johnson is a player with immense talent, and while he may not be thriving in his current situation, his potential is undeniable. He won the Remington Trophy in college as the nation's top center, which speaks volumes about his ability to anchor an offensive line. While Cam Jurgens is currently locked in as the starting center, bringing in a player like Johnson could give the Eagles flexibility to upgrade at guard, particularly if there's any question about consistency at that position. He's a player who, with the right coaching and environment, could flourish and become a key contributor immediately while also offering long-term upside. Philadelphia has the coaching, stability, and system familiarity to bring out the best in a player like this, and that's exactly the kind of environment Johnson might need to reach his potential. But it's not just the offensive line that's drawing attention. The Eagles have also been linked to potential moves at tight end. While Dallas Goedert remains a reliable option, depth behind him could use an infusion of talent, particularly if the team wants to run more versatile personnel packages. Michael Mayer, who has generated interest from several teams, is a tight end with excellent blocking ability and pass-catching skills. He's someone who could be integrated into the system gradually, providing support this season while developing into a more prominent role in the future. Meyer's combination of size, athleticism, and versatility would allow the Eagles to expand their playbook, giving them more options in both two-tight end sets and jumbo packages that can overpower defenses in short yardage situations. Another name to keep an eye on is David Njoku from the Cleveland Browns. While he's less established than Mayer, he offers potential as a developmental tight end. In Philadelphia's system, where athleticism and versatility are highly valued, a player like Njoku could carve out a role quickly, particularly in 12 personnel sets or in packages designed to create mismatches against linebackers and safeties. By adding depth at tight end, the Eagles are not just planning for the here and now. They're thinking strategically about personnel flexibility and how to exploit matchups, both this season and beyond. Of course, while talk of trades generates excitement, the reality is that nothing is guaranteed until it happens. Howie Roseman has always approached the trade market opportunistically. He doesn't shy away from making bold moves, but he's also methodical, weighing the risk and reward of each potential addition. Over the past few months, the Eagles have been incredibly active, executing a string of trades that have reshaped the roster and improved both depth and talent. From adding young playmakers to shoring up key positions, Roseman has shown that he's willing to make calculated moves that can have an immediate impact while still considering the long-term implications for the franchise. When you think about the timing of these potential acquisitions, it makes sense why the Eagles are exploring their options. The team faces a challenging schedule down the stretch, including matchups against playoff-caliber teams where every advantage matters. Securing a high-level guard, an additional tight end, or another defensive contributor could be the difference between squeaking into the playoffs and securing a top seed. In a league where depth and flexibility often dictate postseason success, the Eagles appear to be positioning themselves to maximize their chances. It's also worth noting that these moves aren't just about filling immediate needs. They're about shaping the identity of this team for the next few seasons. Philadelphia has built a culture of toughness, versatility, and smart roster construction. Bringing in players who can step in immediately while also offering long-term upside aligns perfectly with that philosophy. Every addition is considered not just in isolation, but in terms of how it fits into the bigger picture, how it affects matchups, and how it contributes to the team's overarching goal, competing at the highest level in the NFC and ultimately contending for a Super Bowl. Another key factor is player morale and confidence. A player coming in mid-season, particularly someone like Phillips or a high-potential offensive lineman, can have an immediate impact not just on the field, but in the locker room. For a team like the Eagles, which thrives on cohesion and energy, these moves can provide a spark that elevates the entire roster. The combination of veteran presence, young talent, and scheme familiarity creates an environment where new additions can succeed quickly, giving the coaching staff multiple options to keep the team competitive and adaptable. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Philadelphia is buzzing with whispers that could shake the very foundations of Lincoln Financial Field. Sources close to the Eagles' locker room claim that quarterback Jalen Hurts allegedly told teammates in no uncertain terms, "If he comes back, I'm out." The identity of he hasn't been officially confirmed, but speculation is running wild among fans and insiders alike. Inside the Eagles' locker room, sources describe a scene of stunned silence, followed by hushed conversations and raised eyebrows. Hurts, who has emerged as one of the NFL's brightest young stars, is reportedly not the type to make such a declaration lightly. The mood, according to insiders, shifted immediately after his comment, with veteran players exchanging looks that seemed to say, "Could this really be happening?" Fans on social media have been quick to weigh in, dissecting every possible angle. Some suggest this is related to a former Eagles legend rumored to be considering a comeback. Others speculate it could involve a recent high-profile trade target or a star quarterback currently unsigned. Regardless of the specifics, The mere hint of conflict between Hurts and a potential returning figure has ignited a frenzy. Team officials have remained tight-lipped, refusing to confirm or deny the claim. "We focus on our players and our season," a spokesperson stated, adding little to quell the swirling speculation. Meanwhile, the rumor mill is thriving. Sports commentators are already theorizing how this could affect team chemistry, potential trades, and even the Eagles' strategy for the coming season. What's undeniable is that Philadelphia, a city known for its passionate fans, is on edge. Every throw, every practice snap, and every interview is now being scrutinized through the lens of this bombshell comment. If Hurts were to actually leave, the ramifications could ripple through the league, sending shockwaves from the locker room to the boardroom. Whether this is a moment of locker room frustration or a harbinger of real upheaval, one thing is certain. The Eagles are no longer just a team preparing for the next season. They're the center of the NFL gossip storm, and every fan in Philly and beyond is waiting to see what happens next. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.